A very good evening and a warm welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 3rd day of October 2024. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Muhammad Mungalu on sign language interpretation. We do welcome you. Now, before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. And in our top stories tonight, Museveni takes economic transformation drive to Mityana, warns against hypocritical opposition leaders. The final census report 2024 declares population rise by 11.3 million over the 10 years. Government set to grow GDP from $50 billion to $500 billion. And in sports, Uganda is set to travel this Friday to Dar es Salaam for the Under-20 Sekafa zonal qualifiers. Good evening once again. Now with our first story this evening, with only 6 days to Independence Day, celebrations in Busia district with residents are buzzing with excitement and eagerly preparing to welcome President Yoweri Museveni. Now various organizations and security personnel are already in position, making sure all preparations for the ceremony are on track, while security forces are planning to ensure that the event runs smoothly.
Today, top leaders of the National Resistance Movement Party, including Secretary General Richard Todwong, Director NRM Mobilization Rosemary Seninde, Communications Director Emmanuel Dombo, and NRM Electoral Commission Chairman Dr. Tango Doi visited the district.
Peace and stability. 2, we have decentralized administration. Everybody has a responsibility of his own governance, at the lowest level up to NC1 level. 3, central government has connected every corner of this country on tarmac road. 4, we have electricity. 5, we have clean water. We have schools, we have health centers. If we go before God and God asks, what more do you still want from your government? What would you say?
Religious leaders from various denominations have united to mobilize their congregations, encouraging them to attend the event in large numbers. Barbara Nekesa Oundo expressed her excitement about Busia being chosen to host the Independence Day celebrations, highlighting the district's progress.
So that is what signifies that together you can do a lot. Together you will always stand, but there is nothing you can do individually. So as leaders, but I want to thank the political class. Colleagues, thank you for ensuring that we observe unity in whatever we do. I am always reaching out to all of you whenever we have an activity. Please come and attend. Those ones who are not able to attend, they send apologies. Like I was registering apologies here on behalf of our LOC5. We have a NOC meeting today. NOC meeting, that is the National Organizing Committee of the Independence. So, Bachire Kampala meeting, we halange Kampala. Chovate baliwa wano.
She noted the excitement among the people, with businesses booming and the demand for accommodation rising due to the influx of visitors. NRM Communications Director Emmanuel Dombo assured the public that the NRM party had been working tirelessly to ensure the success of the Independence Day celebrations.
Tigahani hatiane kesi ndi msamia nijire hungaye kweyarise lumu nali ngenda kunaku bosome byawandikibwa kati bino si bya mobilization naye nga njagala kwebaza omusingi mwa Museveni n'omulembe guno gye gwakola okugaata amadini gaffe ne gaba nga gasobola okutuula awamu mu Inter-Religious Council. The
director NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, thanked the religious leaders for their active participation in organizing the event, acknowledging their crucial role in guiding people spiritually.
President Museveni. Nebabango tudde wano ng'oli mwaka jirajira bakwano. Kyabuntu. Naye tekiŋŋaana kubasaba n'obuwombeefu okukkiriza nti bw'abanga ono Katonda gwatuwadde ng'ekirabo. I kindly beg that let nobody disorganize us. Emirembe egitutuuzizza wano nga tewali yeeraliikirira nti emmundu eneetera okuvuga bakwano bange enkiwa gy'emirembe gye mwetaaga. Obudde ne bukya ne tucelebratinga mu kkanisa ne tuyimba paka obudde bukya nga n'oluggi luggule tetulina gwe tweraliikirira. That is the peace we have always wanted.
Seninde urged the people of Busia to seize the opportunity and showcase their agricultural products during the celebrations, which could provide financial benefits.
Now, Uganda's Vice President, Jessica Alupo, has hailed South Korea for its climate change mitigation initiatives, recognizing the country's efforts to address Uganda's waste management and global climate crisis. Alupo revealed this at the South Korea National Day and Armed Force Day celebrations held at Sheraton Hotel in Kampala.
As the world struggles to meet the goals outlined in the Paris Agreement, where nations agreed to limit global warming to 15 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, Korea stands tall in supporting climate change mitigation initiatives. Speaking at the Korea National Day and Armed Forces Day celebrations held at Sheraton, Alupo has hailed Korea for aiding Uganda with over 24 billion Uganda shillings to manage waste, whose final product will be energy and manure.
The Republic of Korea has supported our climate change and environment programs, and against this background, they are extending $6.6 million assistance for waste management, whose final products will be energy and manure.
Uganda and Korea have enjoyed warm bilateral relations, with Korea investing in Uganda's ICT, social welfare, health sector, defense, among others.
I would like to recognize the efforts by the Korean Development Corporation to align assistance to our National Development Plan, and in 2016, we signed various memoranda of understanding to strengthen bilateral relations in 10 key areas that include healthcare, ICT, community credit, social welfare, defense, agriculture, policy consultation, etc.
The Korea Ambassador Sung So says Uganda and Korea's ties continue to flourish each passing day. He says his country will continue to cooperate maximally with Uganda, not only in areas of climate change, but also in trade and livelihood opportunities for Ugandans.
This evening, we celebrate over 4,300 years of Korean history on our National Foundation Day. It is a time to honor the origins of our nation and reflect on the incredible journey we have taken. Honorable guests, Uganda holds a special place in my heart, as it was the first country where I served as an ambassador. Over the years, our partnership has progressed in many areas. We have shared, supported each other's growth.
The Korean proactive approach to climate change mitigation continues to inspire many nations, including Uganda.
Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to reassure you and your government of Uganda's readiness and willingness to accelerate our relations in areas of investment, trade, and tourism. Opportunities for trade are available for both sides to exploit, and the vast resources in Uganda, including mineral reserves, agro-processing, and value addition, offer important opportunities for the commercial relations between our two countries.
The National Liberation Day of Korea commemorates the day when Korea was liberated from 35 years of Japanese colonial rule by the Allies in 1945. The day coincides with the anniversary of the founding of South Korea in 1945. Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
China National Offshore Oil Corporation, CNOOC, the company leading the exploration of Uganda's oil reserves in Bunyoro, has reassured the public that there is no cause for concern over delays in oil production, dismissing rumors that oil is already being taken from the wells. Engineer Vivian Naiga, head of the Kingfisher Well Pad Oil Project, explained that there are currently 6 wells at the site, 4 of which are complete. Drilling is expected to begin soon at 3 additional well pads. These updates were shared during a media visit to the Kingfisher drilling site in Changwari, aimed at showcasing the progress of the operations.
Uganda's journey towards oil production has reached significant milestones, with 4 major well pads completed. Representatives from CNOOC Uganda emphasized this during the media tour of the Kingfisher drilling site in Changwari, Kikuve district. The central processing facility is under development and a 2 million barrel capacity fuel tank has already been installed. Engineer Vivian Naiga confirmed that 4 of the 6 wells at the first well pad have been completed.
There are a total of 4 pads. So for the drilling campaign, this commenced in 2023 with pad 2. We drilled 3 wells. The rig was moved to pad 3, where we drilled 4 wells, and currently at pad 1 we are set to drill 6 wells, and currently we've drilled 4 wells successfully to total depth.
She reassured the public that no oil has been produced yet, addressing rumors that oil was already being sold.
Dispel the rumors out there that oil is coming out of the ground. Please note that that is a very high-risk situation in drilling. Please understand, for Uganda to have oil or for any oil to be produced, that will be the production phase. That will be at first oil when the other surface facilities are ready.
Bambi Hemaiso Dismas, chairperson of Songa A. Buhuka, shared that the local community has greatly benefited from the ongoing oil exploration in their area.
When this project started, it found people with grass-thatched house, and they have changed some people the mindset, teaching them how to use the money if they get the compensation.
CNOOC's efforts extends beyond oil drilling, as they are also improving access to clean water and healthcare services for their residents, who have reported significant improvements in their living conditions.
We chose to do these outreaches depending on the outcry from the community. We got this through our quarterly environment and social impact audits in the area, where we come out with the diseases which are affecting the communities the most.
Andrew Mbigiti, the media and publicity supervisor at CNOOC Uganda, provided an update on the progress at the Kingfisher site.
We finished the exploration phase, took the final investment decision on 1st February 2022, and works commenced for development of the oil field. So development involves construction of facilities. It will house the staff and let's say clean the oil that is in the central processing facility.
He noted that a total of 28 wells will be drilled at the Kingfisher site, with 9 already completed across 4 major well pads.
For the drilling, this campaign is going to drill 28 wells, and we've already heard from our engineers how they are drilling. So they drill on different well pads. Total will be 4 well pads.
The Kingfisher site is the second largest oil field under development, with expectations of producing 40,000 barrels per day once the project reaches full capacity. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC News.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has addressed the residents of Mityana district, urging them to reject politicians and leaders who incite them against government development projects. He emphasized that these projects are funded by local revenue money that belongs to the people themselves. During his visit to Mityana, President Museveni handed over a multi-million shillings fully furnished residence to Sister Anna Maria Nakampi, who generously contributed to the success of the NRA's 5-year guerrilla war.
His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni was in Mityana district this Thursday for a socio-economic transformation tour. At this public event held at St. Paul's Parish Grounds, the President was received by members of Parliament and ministers led by Judith Nabakova, the Minister of Lands, Housing and Urban Development.
Abantu 500 abateekeddwa olwaleero babenga bafuna ssente nga naawe oli wano mu ssaza lyaffe.
Nabakova also expressed gratitude to the President and the Minister of Education, Mama Jent Kataha Museveni, for their continued support to the communities of Mityana.
Excellency nga mpita mu ggwe nyongera okwebaza wamu ne maama. Ministry y'ebyenjigiriza maama gy'atwala yatusasulidde essomero.
She reported concerns regarding negative politicking surrounding the government's registration of coffee farmers.
Waliwo abantu kamba kulopere bannakigwanyizi abatandise okusiiga gavumenti enziro nga bagamba ti gavumenti eyagala okuwera emmwanyi ekirime ekirimibwa mu Buganda mbutwagala kutwala mmwanyi.
Other attendees included NRM First National Vice Chairperson Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the NRM Vice Chairperson for Buganda Godfrey Chwanda Subi, and Ministers Sam Mayanja, as Kaboy of Red Triangle, and Joyce Nabosa Sebugwao.
Ziwaweereza ez'enguudo buli district yafuna akawumbi ka ssente. Esente zino zituyambyeko okwongera okulongoosa enguudo zaffe.
In his address, Museveni preached the gospel of transformation.
Kubeera kumpi ne chorus naye eddako 95 nabayigiriza ekigambo okulembeka.
On a lighter note, he guided the Mityana residents, stating that while the government has endeavored to construct roads, schools and health centers, this do not directly translate into individual household wealth.
Naye obugagga n'obwavu bibyo ng'omuntu mu nyumba yo.
Museveni criticized the leaders from the opposition parties for misleading voters.
Ate bo tebazira misaala oba babagamba nti muzire enteeka za gavumenti ezigoba obwavu. Ku lwaki bo tebazira misaala gya Parliament?
He reminded the voters that rejecting government projects makes little sense since the primary funding source comes from taxes paid by citizens.
So mbasaba temuddamu kulimbibwa tuwabawo abaguumaaza era ako kabonero k'obulabe eddala esente zezikuleetedde kumuruka kugoba obwavu sente zo sizange esente bali abalabe bammwe ababagamba nti muzire programu za gavumenti sente zammwe.
In the areas where leadership is perceived as incompetent, like Mityana, where opposition members outnumber those from the ruling party, Museveni attributed this to voter choices.
Lwaki abo temubabanja oba kulwaki kati ngeno mwalonda ba opposition naye walimu n'okubba baba obululu ekyo nkimanyi baba.
The President also addressed local concerns about rampant evictions, assuring residents that legal measures have been implemented to address the issue. He also promised additional funding for the land fund projects. In Mityana, the President handed over a brand new car and a fully furnished home to Sister Anna Maria Nakampi, a key contributor to the NRA guerrilla war.
President tusiimye nnyo tusiimidde ddala omulimu muyonjo ogukoleddwa era twebaza General Reiso ne ttiimu yo olw'omulimu ogwo omulungi mutuwadde amaka ag'ekitiibwa amaka ag'ettendo.
Taata President weebale kujjukira weebale kumanya bewabonaabona nabo yanziza nnyo neyanzeege olubiri lwontaddemu
n'amujjukira mu bantu abangi be twali nabo n'amukolera kyamukoledde n'amuzimbira olubiri amaka nze kye nali susuubira sebo nkwebaza tuweebale nnyo weebalire ddala.
Robert Nyango, UBC News.
Bannange mwebale okulaga boya nga Uganda ezanya konge Namboli twabalaga lwaki Namboli bakayita kattiro mwayiwawa omubiri nga bulijjo kati nga 11 Oktoba Uganda Crane ezajja kubanga eyambalagana ne South Sudan wali Namboli sawa 10 ez'olweggulo gwe kyolina okukola leeta fire tuwagire ekitabangawo okugula tiketi nyiga star M65 star 2 hashi oba genda mu Momo app onyiga wali buy ticket anti awo etiketi egula emitwalo 2 gyokka bw'osasula kashi eba y'ebiri kitundu ng'ate Namboli ogendera bwerere mu train ecupa za Nairo special 2 ezisooka ziba ku siringi 10,000 bw'ogula ne Momo anti MTN egabudde Uganda Crane is fire MTN fire bikutuusiddwako MTN omuwagizi w'omupiira gwa Uganda namba emu nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema.
Hey kids, we're going to count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enjoy 5 ways to love your baby, smoothen and protect your baby's skin with 5 new gentle formulations. Original to nurture your baby, aloe vera to protect your boo skin, cocoa butter to comfort your pinku, mild scent to soothe your little one, and avocado to soften your buju skin. Available in all supermarkets, retail shops, and cosmetics shops near you. Move it, baby jelly. All day confidence.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mood Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
To help businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19, government introduced a tax amnesty through a waiver of interest and penalty on outstanding principal tax as at June 30th, 2023. Accordingly, URA has since July 2024 been implementing this waiver. To benefit, simply pay your outstanding principal tax by December 31st, 2024, and the waiver is applied automatically upon payment confirmation. This amnesty applies to domestic taxes, namely income tax, rental tax, payee, and others. Grab this golden opportunity today. For more, use the platforms displayed.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here on UBC News Tonight. In more news this evening, Frank Rusa Nyakana, the acting executive director of the Kampala Capital City Authority, has commended non-governmental organizations for their efforts in rehabilitating survivors of the Kiteezi landfill tragedy. During his visit, Rusa engaged with those affected, assuring them that the government is actively addressing their concerns and plans to relocate them from the current camp where they are staying.
Kiteezi landfill disaster survivors at the camp expressed their dissatisfaction on how their issues are being handled and urged the relevant authorities to fast-track their compensation process.
Mukama waffe tukoyedde nti tulina abaana tuli bazadde
tutuula ne tugamba nti tweyambula naye ne tweyambulira mu baana muzadde munnange njagala okitule tractors ebwakozesa okumenya amayumba gaffe mu butuufu nga tolina nabo oyimirira kugamba nti nno tomenya nyumba yange nga bajjayo maama kisuule.
As he toured the garbage slide site, Rusa acknowledged the urgent need for government support to expedite the decommissioning of the dump site, aiming to create a safer living environment for the surrounding community.
A river has formed, a river of water and leached and covered neighboring houses. I'm told about 71 houses have been submerged or partially submerged. We are in the process of trying to mobilize equipment to take down those slopes behind me so that we can have a lower level so that the water on this side can flow upstream. As you can imagine, that's a huge engineering feat. We are mobilizing equipment. We have some equipment here, but we are continuing to mobilize equipment from various sources to see that we can speed up this work.
Besides expressing gratitude to organizations like the Red Cross for their vital support during the crisis, Rusa also emphasized the importance of implementing better waste management practices to prevent similar incidents in the future.
Maybe as KCCA would like to pledge that the lessons we are taking from here, we are taking them seriously, and hopefully we will not have a repeat of anything like this, not in our city and hopefully not in another city in our countries. We are picking lessons from our neighbors in Ethiopia where something similar happened and lots of lives were lost, but now they are at a place whereby there is effective waste-to-energy technology being deployed in that country. We hope to get there soon.
This visit reinforces the government's commitment to addressing the aftermath of the Kiteezi tragedy and improving the survivors' living conditions. Justine Nakame, UBC News.
At a press conference held at the Media Center in Kampala, State Minister for Housing, Persis Namuganza, announced that Uganda's celebrations of World Habitat Day will take place on the 7th of this month in Kamocha under the theme Engaging Youth to Create a Better Urban Future. The main global event will be held in the United States. We have the details.
Explaining why Kamocha was chosen as the venue, State Minister for Housing Persis Namuganza emphasized the significance of focusing on urban development and slum areas, particularly in emphasizing the youth to improve their living environments.
The UN General Assembly Resolution of 17th December 1985 set aside the first Monday of October each year to be observed worldwide as World Habitat Day.
She also highlighted the role of the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development in addressing challenges in these communities.
We are guiding under the urban policy agenda that there must be areas for residential, industrial, banking services, and these are the services that need, special whatever, gazettement of their own.
The minister shared the government's plans for supporting people living in slum areas like Kamocha, aiming to improve living conditions through infrastructure development and housing initiatives.
We are going to introduce a model of rent to own, which is now the world over model, which is helping people or citizens to acquire decent houses, because someone can rent a house but they have no hope that that house will ever be theirs, and it can.
She also addressed the government's plans for residents affected in Kiteezi, expressing that it remains a key concern for the ministry and they are working towards solutions for these affected communities.
It has been sitting to discuss the issue of Kiteezi, and we came up with short-term interventions and long-term interventions. The short-term interventions that Cabinet passed was Kiteezi people who are staying in the tents right now, where Cabinet has passed 16 billion Uganda shillings to KCCA.
Habitat for Community Uganda, the lead organizer of the event, discussed their efforts in supporting people living in slums and the importance of celebrating World Habitat Day. They urged all Ugandans to join in the celebrations, emphasizing that this day is a chance to reflect on how to build better and more sustainable urban environments for all.
We urgently request that you work alongside us to think about affordable housing solutions for the young people, but for the overall population in general, because if we are not finding a balance, then we are not hitting the mark right.
Charity Marion Imnat and Jamil Sekaja for UBC News.
Residents in the buffer zone of the 3 villages of Kiteezi, Lusanja and Chitetika affected by the garbage slide disaster at Kiteezi landfill are rejecting the government's proposal to relocate them to Dunduland in Mukono. They are demanding compensation to enable them to secure better housing on their own. This discontent follows a visit from the Minister for Kampala Affairs, Hajat Minsa Kabanda, who reiterated the government's decision to relocate the affected residents to Dunduland for a new waste management facility.
It has been 2 months since the tragic collapse of the Kiteezi landfill, which resulted in over 30 deaths and property worth millions damaged. Survivors continue to face unsafe living conditions in the surrounding buffer zone.
Ne buli wiiki ntwala mu ddwaliro musujja natuuse ekiseera ne ngamba oba neteekemu omuguwa nfe mbeewo.
However, government's plan to relocate these residents has been met with strong opposition. Locals argue that they would prefer compensation to find suitable housing independently.
Bakiriza omulanga gwaffe wekitibwa president awuliriza omulanga gwaffe atuyambye batusasule busasuzi kasente kaffe kakati nganze kyeddundu ngamba nedda wabula basasule abantu babawe sente zaabwe abali mu mita zaabwe zebakola ki zebaagala.
Many residents blame their leaders for failing to assist them during this crisis.
Elias Lukwago twalondanga meya waffe abeera linatutesiza naye nga tazize ku ground kumanya kimalobozi g'abantu nabiki bye twetaaga.
Meanwhile, some families who lost their loved ones in the disaster and were unable to recover their bodies are requesting the government to erect a memorial stone in the area.
Mwai Museveni mwali tuyambye mazima dda ne tubaako ekijjukizo kye tuteerawo abantu baffe bayime kufanga kalooli oba ng'embwa z'endaye baziika mu kasasiro.
Residents have given the government a 1-week ultimatum to provide compensation, or they plan to organize a demonstration.
Batinze bwe tumara week nga government ewali ekyetukolera ku bantu tujja kukunga abantu twekalakase.
The collapse has also prompted criticism of the Kampala Capital City Authority for its poor waste management practices.
Esooka KCCA eyina ekifo kyayo ekozesa ekifo kyayo ekigguse omuntu olina okubeera n'ekifo kyo n'okiplaningira.
This tragedy struck on August 10th, 2024, when Kiteezi landfill, the government's primary waste disposal site, collapsed, leaving Kampala streets overwhelmed with garbage. Justine Nakami, UBC News.
The Minister of State for Finance in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, says the termination of the 25-year mining lease by the Chinese firm Tibet Hima was in accordance with the law. Minister Anite told the Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources that government discovered that Tibet Hima was only an assembling company and incompetent, leading to its termination. The minister revealed to the MPs that after termination of Tibet Hima, negotiations commenced, led by the Presidential Advisor on Defense and Security, General Salim Saleh, and a tune of 1,750,000 shillings was paid as outstanding arrears.
The Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources continues to register submissions regarding the petition of the Chinese firm Tibet Hima Mining Company on the irregular termination of its contract. The Minister of State for Finance, in charge of privatization and investment, Evelyn Anite, updated the committee.
They failed to pay the annual concession fee of 1,750,000
and $5,000.
In the petition, Tibet Hima alleges that government stripped their assets and equipment, reduced on the concession period from 25 to 15 years without clear explanation. Minister Anite responds to the claims.
The Board of Directors of Kilembe Mines authorized and registered a resolution for the scrapped items to be sold and the proceeds themselves be part of the revenue budget. You can see.
The minister interested the committee on how government has no regrets in terminating Tibet's contract after discovering how they were an assembling company.
Because I did my job, I could not accept to see a company that has no capacity being given the responsibility to manage government resources. And that resource is big. It is a resource which comprises of minerals, gold, copper, cobalt.
However, members of parliament on the committee tasked the minister to avail evidence on what would have failed Tibet on meeting its obligations.
So we would like to see this law says, because also Tibet is sharing that they have also lost.
I would like the minister to assist this committee with an official report of how the evaluation happened and therefore a conclusion was arrived at.
The problem was from the foundation. If you have a wrong foundation, you're bound to fail.
Some MPs also disagreed on the notice of the termination period being short.
After the meeting, you close the door, you reach there, and then you send a fresh one. So, Chair, even if you are the person in business, you are not settled. You even fear to invest further.
Despite losses incurred, government held negotiations with the management of Tibet and managed to collect a tune of 1,750,000 shillings, which was paid as outstanding arrears.
I am very happy that with the action of General Saleh, his coming in made us at least to get some little money from the concessionaire.
According to Minister Anite, this petition is a disguised attempt to appeal against decisions of the court. Lydia Chomkama and Gloria Gutabinji, Parliament.
The Inspector General of Government has continued to register increased complaints from the general public relating to abuse of public funds. The IGG, Betty Kamia, reveals an increase from 1,068 complaints in the period of July to December 2022 to 1,657 in the period between January to June 2024. Kamia reveals that over 5,000 cases are up for investigations by the IGG, and this is as the Office of the Inspectorate of Government handed over the biannual report to Parliament, which was received by the Speaker, Anita Mong.
We expected declaration from 380,000 public servants, and we achieved a declaration of about 88%. And we are supposed to verify all those declarations. This year alone, we have verified about 532 declarants. Of course, a very, very small margin. The big one, of course, Madam Speaker, is inadequate funding by the Inspectorate of Government, and this has led to pile up of cases. We received so many cases, but we are unable because of the limitations on staff, space. One, government, some of the outstanding activities that we have, government should provide a budget of 45 billion to enable the Inspectorate of Government head office project to be completed. This is a project that is running almost into a decade. We are trying to construct offices in addition for digitalization, and this is a key requirement if we are to measure up to some of the institutions of government that we have to monitor that are highly digitalized. Our a journey for digitalization will require an estimate of $10 million.
Now you're creating awareness to the public about corruption, about misuse of government funds and that kind of thing. I want you to really increase on that awareness outside there. Create a lot of awareness. Create friendship with these people. When you create friendship with these people, they will be able to tell you so and so, Patricia took this. and that's where that will be a starting point. So when you go on the radios, I was in Eastern Uganda and I heard Patricia speaking on the radio, and I said, "Hey, so this is what now has happened." I was very impressed. I was very, very impressed, and you'd find people saying, now don't joke with AGG. Anything you take, they will come for you." So when you create awareness, it will reduce somehow some kind of corruption that is outside there.
UBC News Tonight. Now, the woman MP for Tororo District, Sarah Opendi, has secured leave of Parliament to introduce the Marriage Bill 2024. The bill seeks to repeal and consolidate the legal framework governing marriage in Uganda. The proposed legislation provides for the recognized marriages in Uganda, general conditions to be applied in marriages, including the constitutional age of marriage, separation and dissolution of marriage, among others. The recognized marriages, according to the bill, include Baha'i marriage, Christian marriage, civil marriage, Hindu marriage, customary marriage, and Islamic marriage. The marriages shall be considered to have the same legal status. Sarah Opendi asserts in the bill that the spouses shall be entitled to equal access to matrimonial property. The Speaker of Parliament, Annette Anita Among, referred the bill to a joint committee of Parliament of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and the Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development. We have more.
The thing is that the documents I know.
Honorable Sarah Opendi, who is the mover of the bill, is currently unwell. She got a minor accident, and I'm here on her behalf to move the bill.
Sorry about the accident.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I move that the bill entitled the Marriage Bill be read for the first time. I beg to lay a copy of the bill on the table.
The bill stands referred to a joint committee of Committee of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs and Committee of Gender, Labour and Social Development. The Committee of Legal will take a lead on this motion, on this bill, and they will report as per Rule 1292 of Rules of Procedure.
The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development is conducting a regional budget consultative meeting for the financial year 2025-26, targeting local government stakeholders. Minister of State for Public Service, Grace Mugasi, represented Finance Minister Mityana Kazimoto at the event. She highlighted the government's ambitious plan to increase Uganda's GDP tenfold by 2040, aiming to grow from a baseline of $50 billion in the financial year 2022-23 to $500 billion in the next 15 years.
Thank you so much. The regional budget consultative meetings follow the National Budget Conference, signaling the start of the budget preparation process. These consultations aim to share the government's strategic direction and align on budget priorities.
Financial year 2025-2026. Conveying the outcomes of the just concluded negotiations on conditional grants for the financial year 2025-2026 and disseminate indicative planning figures and grant program guidance for the preparation of the financial year 2025-2026 budget. The recommendations from these consultations will guide finalization of the financial year 2025-2026 budget.
The government has set a target to grow the economy significantly, with a plan to double the GDP every 5 years. This growth will be fueled by key sectors and initiatives to ensure sustainable economic development.
We have already worked on the markets because we have integrated. East Africa integration, we have integrated. We have our local market here as East Africa. We are working on electricity because electricity will drive industrialization. Then we are working on ICT. We are even going to do trade using technology.
First of all, people have to appreciate the importance of paying tax. And the only way you can appreciate that is when they are visible services. What have you done? And I'm sure that the people of Kampala now are started to appreciate the taxes they pay, the importance of paying tax, because infrastructure is being handled, the drainages and roads are being constructed, education, we are trying as much as we can to.
District leaders are also seeking to retain local revenue at local government level to enable them improve service delivery.
Because after decentralization, we agreed that even there will be physical decentralization. Money collected at that level, we have been in discussions actually. We are discussing it, and I think the review will be done in due course. That little money, actually it is little money from the local revenue compared to what is collected at central level. Let it remain at local level because they also have plans.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Catholic nuns of the Little Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi have ignited a campaign seeking canonization of Mother Kevin Mary Kearney. It is 67 years since Mother Kevin Mary died, and the campaign leader, Reverend Sister Margaret Namuviru Kubanze, told UBC TV that the 67th death anniversary event will include the traditional pilgrimage to Mother Kevin's burial place in Kokonjeru in Buikwe district.
These are renowned for their participation in national development with schools and hospitals like St. Francis Hospital in Zambia. Their founder, Mother Mary Kevin Kearney, an Irish nun, came to Uganda as a Franciscan missionary, nun, and pitched camp at Nkokonjeru where witchcraft was at its peak. She founded the Little Sisters of St. Francis. She died in 1957. Today, the Little Sisters of St. Francis, who have been walking in her footsteps, will commemorate the 67th anniversary.
Mother Kevin, a servant of God, is in the process of being canonized. And every year on the 17th of October, Mother Kevin, the day that she left us in this world, we celebrate.
Reverend Sister Margaret Nambiu Kubanze told UBC TV that Mother Kevin is held in high esteem for having laid the foundation for present-day schools and hospitals.
We allocated Sister Kevin to start helping the sick people who are coming to them. And Sister Kevin, with no experience whatsoever in medical work, because she was not trained, started to attend to the sick under a mango tree. And we hold that mango tree, which is still there, we hold it dear.
Today, Kokonjeru Cemetery, where Mother Kevin and over 100 other nuns are buried, has become an annual attraction to local and foreign guests.
As a custodian here at Mother House, responsible for Mother Kevin's grave, keeping it safe and welcoming visitors who come for pilgrim at Mother Kevin's grave. We have so far received big numbers.
At the home of the elderly nuns, the 94-year Sister Mary Teresa Agnes, a retired nurse, said Mother Kevin was at her mother's bedside as she was being delivered in 1930.
Kevin was a very kind lady towards the people, very helpful, and her work, especially prayer. She used to tell people to pray.
In the commemoration, one of the activities of the anniversary will be a fundraising drive for completion of the Centenary Memorial House of the Little Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi.
This is our centenary building. This building is going to mark at the 100 years for the Little Sisters of St. Francis. We are humbly requesting you to help us financially so that we can raise this building up.
On October 17th, the Little Sisters of St. Francis of Assisi marked 100 years in Uganda. Aliona Francisco, UBC News.
Muslims from various regions across the country, led by Sheikh Abdallah Semambo, met with the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Kahinda Otafide, at the ministry headquarters located on Portville Road, Kampala. The group raised concerns about the way their cases, particularly those involving legal proceedings and issues related to Mufti Sheikh Shaban Mubajje, are being handled.
Sheikh Irumba Mohammed, speaking on behalf of Sheikh Semambo, shared that their grievances have been formally submitted to the minister's office. He emphasized that they were not addressing all matters publicly, but focusing on the key concerns in private discussions.
I'm Sheikh Dr. Irumba Mohammed from Hoima City, one of the deputies reasons. Number of issues, big files are rolling in the minds of the Muslims in courts of law, in government, on government big tables. So we were here to consult government over those big issues. And we got the responses that we needed, and everything has been positive. We are better positioned now going forward. We know what to do. There are pending court orders to be executed, and we have been given a better explanation concerning the delays and the other issues. And the vision of government has been better. So we are adapting to that, and everything is a success.
Details from the meeting were kept confidential as the media was not allowed to attend. However, Sheikh Mohammed highlighted that critical issues related to justice and leadership within the Muslim community were discussed.
Of course, we have court orders, we have resolutions, but you need to know that the Muslim community is always partners with government of a number of issues. So because we were hopeful, that's why we needed the government on specific issues, and we have agreed on how to proceed. So we are more hopeful than we were before.
Honorable Kahinda Otafide, while addressing the press, mentioned that they were awaiting the courts to continue with the legal process. He refrained from giving additional details about the specifics of the meeting or the cases in the question.
Muslim leaders who are disagreeing with their colleagues in the Muslim Supreme Council, and since they took the court route, I've told them, I've advised them that they should finish their court matter, and then after they finish the court matter, we can see. Much as I prefer the reconciliation route, but since they are in court, let them conclude their court matter, then we can see how we can try reconciliation.
Banange mwebale okulaga boya nga Uganda ezanya konge Namboli twabalaga lwaki Namboli bakayita Katiro mwayiwa w'omubiri nga bulijjo kati nga 11 Oktoba Uganda Crane ezajja kubanga eyambalaga ne South Sudan wali Namboli sawa 10 ez'olweggulo ng'ekyoyina okukola leeta fire tuwagira ekitabanga wo okugula tiketi nyiga star M65 star 2 hashi oba genda mu Momo app onyika wali buy ticket anti awo etiketi egula emitwalo 2 gyokka bw'osasula kashi eba y'ebiri kitundu ng'ate Namboli ogendera bwerere mu train ecupa za Nairo special 2 ezisooka ziba ku siringi 10,000 bw'ogula ne Momo anti MTN egabudde Uganda Crane is fire MTN fire bikutuusiddwako MTN omuwagizi w'omupiira gwa Uganda namba emu nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema. Ngalo.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money It's hands that feed us, hands that prepare soil for farming, hands that we use to learn, and hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. We were once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy, Wanawoli.
Uganda Manufacturers Association celebrates 30 years of industrial excellence. Come and be part of the 30th UMA International Trade Fair at Lugogo from the 2nd to the 10th of October. We celebrate 30 years of industrial excellence with an education pavilion, an agricultural pavilion, and a job skills development pavilion for job seekers. There will be lots of fun, entertainment, and business opportunities. Come and be part of this great journey and milestones. Entrance fee is only 10,000 shillings. If you want an exhibition stall, call +256 0703 552 444 or visit the UMA website, powered by Total Energies, Hisense, Smart Tech, and Stanbic Bank.
Welcome back from that break, and now into the business scene. Government is set to establish a packaging facility in Uganda early next year as one of the resolutions to the key challenges pressing the manufacturing sector in Uganda. This was revealed by Patrick Birungi, the Executive Director of Uganda Development Corporation, during a meeting between government agencies and the manufacturers organized by Uganda Manufacturers Association at Lugogo Showgrounds in Kampala.
Government is putting in efforts to address the manufacturers' key pressing issues, packaging being one of them.
The manufacturers are doing their best to put these products in the market, but we realize that they lack appropriate packaging material. We've discussed this particular issue, and we have noted that as UDC, as Uganda Development Corporation, we are in the process of establishing a packaging facility in Namamve for purposes of improving the packaging industry in the country.
The manufacturers have thanked government for initiating value addition that has helped them to widen their market base.
We have already started the construction of the shoe factory. We call it a footwear factory. Now, this footwear factory is in fulfillment of the fact that after we have processed leather from hides and skins, we have already added value.
Meanwhile, the exhibitors have confirmed improved turn-up of customers on the second day of the 30th International Trade Fair.
But at least today the turn-up is better than from that of last year. We brought products in different sizes.
An international company. We sell in the USA, all of Africa, and around the world. The trade show is going well so far. We've gotten a few inquiries, so yeah, we just hope that we sell a few ovens.
Among them, we've come with a nebulizer. This is the kind of technology that we use for repelling of mosquitoes.
We support this country via many things, employing Ugandans, and we employ directly over 500 Ugandans.
This year's exhibition is under the theme Celebrating 30 Years of Industrial Excellence. Winnie Ainembabas Katwire for UBC.
Brought to you by download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial *229#. Wendy Wanaoli.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda. Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
Made in Mbale, the ultimate trade show and expo 2024. Join us for an exciting showcase of Made in Uganda industrial products, proudly presented by Honorable Minister Evelyn Anite and Chairman Tiang Tang Group Paul Zhang. The trade show will be held at Mbale Industrial Park on 18th and 19th October 2024. Come and experience the best of Ugandan industry, all products from Mbale Industrial Park. Entrance is absolutely free. The chief guest, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, with other guest speakers including the Vice President, Her Excellency Jessica Lupo, the Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, the Minister of Finance, Honorable Matia Kasaija. The Mbale Industrial Trade Show and Expo by Uganda, Build Uganda, powered by the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development.
The Uganda Muslim Supreme Council and the National Chair Lady, Honorable Sophia Kenyanji Safina, invites all Muslim women and men to join us for a momentous inauguration of the Women's Council. The event will take place on the 8th of October 2024 at the Gaddafi National Mosque Gardens starting at 9 a.m. The guest of honor will be Her Excellency Hajat Samia Suluhu, the President of the Republic of Tanzania. And the chief guest will be His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and His Eminence Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje, the Mufti of Uganda. This is a chance to be part of something truly special as we mark a new era for Muslim women in Uganda. Other activities will include launching the National Muslim Women's Circle and establishing a national fund to support a one-stop skilling and rehabilitation center.
Welcome back. And now into the sports scene. Uganda Under-20 men's national football team had their last training session at the Njeru Technical Grounds in preparation for the upcoming CECAFA Zonal qualifiers from the 6th of this month in Tanzania. The Hippos fly out of the country to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania this Friday before the games early next week. Uganda, who won the trophy in 2022 in Khartoum, is in Group B alongside South Sudan, Burundi and Ethiopia. The other group has hosts Tanzania, Kenya, Sudan, Rwanda and Djibouti. The best 2 teams in each group will automatically qualify for the semi-finals. The finalists will qualify to represent Sekafa at the AFCON Under-20 to take place next year.
Because everybody is focused.
And with that, our first edition of UBC News Tonight has come to an end. Do join us for much more stories at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto and my colleague Muhammad Mugalu in Sign Language. We will see you at 10.
UBC